All right, welcome to this mini course, AI in Your Career, Really Understanding This Moment. The reason I'm creating this course is because 95% of the people I talk to really don't have their head around, what is AI? Why does it matter? How is it going to influence my career? How is it changing the world of work? What should I be learning? How do I get involved? What are the benefits? All that kind of thing. And as a result, they're not in a position to make great choices about whether they should pivot, whether they're going to get displaced, what should they be learning. And so my goal for you is by the end of this mini course, you see it. You understand really what AI is, why it matters, and how to get started with it. What we're going to talk about is why AI matters in the world of work and your career specifically. And then we'll talk about why it's so difficult to understand it and how to wrap your head around it. And then we'll talk about how to really get started with AI so that you're learning and understanding and getting yourself into a really good position so that you can make good choices and start taking advantage of it. And lastly, we'll end with a roadmap so that you have some structure as to what are the stages to work your way through and kind of orient yourself so you can really start to benefit from this revolution. So if you don't know me yet, I'm Jeff Baker. I'm the founder of Positive Futures Career Coaching. I've been a full-time career coach for 11 years. And before that, I had a pretty diverse career. I worked in 5 different industries. I started 5 different businesses. And one of those was a software development company that I grew to 13 staff. I've been in UX, UI, I've been in web development, so quite a bit of tech. And I lived through the last 4 tech revolutions and worked through them. So I've been watching these tech revolutions come and go. So I have a pretty good handle on what a tech adoption life cycle looks like. And that's one of the things that allowed me to really see how important this one is and how different it is from the last 4. So I've developed a specialty in AI over the last 2 years. And these pictures, by the way, are AI generated. I'm going to throw in a bunch of AI generated images just for fun as we go along. So when I say AI matters, like it really matters. Unlike the previous 4 tech revolutions, it's transforming how all of us work, and it's happening 5 times faster than the previous ones. Here's an example of that. If you look at how long it took for ChatGPT to reach 100 million users compared to these other guys, which was fairly quick. Now, none of these guys were slow in getting to 100 million users, but ChatGPT just blew them out of the water. This is Midjourney, the change in it over just 18 months. And this amount of improvement is not limited to image generation. This is across the board. It's video generation, it's reasoning models, it's the ability to do math and science, speech recognition, generating human simulated speech. Robotics is even going through this type of evolution as well. So it's not slowing down. And the biggest companies in the world, they totally get it. This is the investment just in 2025 alone from Microsoft, Google, Amazon, 80, 70, 150 billion. These are massive numbers because they understand that it is changing every aspect of business and they are basically all in. And this here, Humanity's Last Exam, this is a test that's designed to test the limits of artificial intelligence at the frontiers of human expertise. It's a multimodal test that consists of 3,000 questions spanning over 100 subjects, including math, humanities, and natural sciences. And the questions are designed to be extremely challenging, targeting world-class, expert-level reasoning and knowledge. 6 months ago, the best frontier models were below 5%, and now they're over 25%. They're at the point now where they're going to need AI in order to make this test harder because humans are not capable of making a harder test than this. So that's where we're at in terms of the speed of this technology developing. So next, let's look at what I mean by AI is transforming how all of us work. Whenever a new technology comes into play, it changes how we work. When the digital spreadsheet came in, it made paper spreadsheets or ledgers irrelevant pretty quick. If you could change one number and it changes 100 other numbers that are dependent on that number in a matter of seconds, that's not something you're going to then go back to the regular paper ledger. So over the years, the technology keeps evolving and giving us new capabilities, again, changing the way we work. So now we've got the ability to add formulas, put graphs in here, we can do projections, we can even make applications out of this software like Excel. But then along comes AI in the form of ChatGPT at first, and it presents us with a different way of working. If you want to use regular Excel, you open the tool and then you've got to use whatever button or menu option, function, feature is pre-programmed into it. But when we have ChatGPT, we're not limited in that way. And so let's do a comparison of what it's like to use Excel and use ChatGPT. So here we've got Excel on one side and ChatGPT on the other. Let's imagine that we have an Amazon store and we sell t-shirts. We just had Christmas, we sold a bunch of shirts, and now we want to know how many of each kind of shirt do we have in our inventory so we know, what we need to print next. To do this experiment, we need some dummy data. So if you wanted to generate some dummy data, how would you do it in Excel? You'd probably have to type in the column headers and just start typing it in, right? But let's ask ChatGPT to do it for us. Create an inventory of shirts as an Excel file, 50 records, and the column header should be shirt ID, shirt size, and price. Oh, and make the number of extra, extra large shirts greater than the other sizes. Okay, so there we've got our Excel file. Let's download it and we'll open it up in Excel. Now, if we want to do a pie chart in Excel, how do we do that? Most people think, well, okay, let's highlight the data, and then we got to go. Maybe we want to insert pie chart. There we go. Huh, that didn't work. What did I do wrong? Select data. All right, like kind of stuck here. Most people get stuck at this point. Well, let's ask ChatGPT to do it for us. Create a pie chart grouped by shirt size. And there we go. And now, do a price distribution, a bar chart. So that easy. And we're just using vanilla ChatGPT. Like this isn't even an Excel agent that specializes in working with spreadsheet data. So this changes how everybody can work with their data. You still need your data stored somewhere, but no longer do you need to load up Microsoft Excel and understand how to use all its functions and features. Now, with natural language, you can talk to the AI agent or whatever you're going to be working with in order to get the results that you're looking for. So it really democratizes software. And that's why Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Microsoft, says that they're not going to build another version of Office as a set of tools that people are going to use. The next generation of software is going to be different. Now, what's it going to look like? Let's take a look. So this is QuickBooks. Currently, if you want to use it just like Microsoft Excel, you've got to know what are all the functions and features and how to do everything the way that it is pre-programmed and designed to do it. But I suggest we're moving into an interface more like this. Still similar software in the way that it's like a dashboard and presents us with examples and graphs and whatnot. But now this is your primary interface. Whatever you want to do, you tell it what you want it to do. And it either just does it or it guides you in how to do it if it needs you to take intervention steps. And so as a business owner, you'll say, set up my chart of accounts. Find all the ways I can reduce my taxes. I'll give you my business information. Here's my previous tax returns. Generate my tax return. Again, a very different way of working, which changes how we work because we normally don't use necessarily QuickBooks. Our bookkeeper and our accountant use QuickBooks, but now we can. So you may be wondering, as I was when I looked into this, well, is QuickBooks already doing this? And it turns out they are. They've got something called Intuit Assist, which does exactly what we just talked about. It's this AI assistant that works right along with you in QuickBooks, and you just tell it what you want it to do, and it either does it or it steps you through exactly how to do it yourself. This has been rolled out in the United States. It's not yet ready in Canada. So what's going to happen to accountants and bookkeepers? Well, I wish I could tell you they're going to move on to more interesting work, but the truth is that AI is going to handle a lot of the grunt work that bookkeepers and accountants are currently doing. Business owners will use the software now because it's so easy and they can just tell it what they want. They won't need to pay accountants and bookkeepers to do as much of that work. So you're just not going to need as many people doing that kind of work. Now, some bookkeepers and accountants will really understand and learn AI and leverage it to be able to handle way more clients with less stress, less time, to be able to provide better services. They'll find new services, new value adds, and they'll partner with AI to get in that position. They'll do well, I believe. But the people who don't learn AI and just continue with business as usual, it's not going to end well for them. So that's why we're talking about this right now. Now, what about plumbers, electricians, carpenters? Often people say to me when I have this conversation with them that, well, AI can't do what I do. What I do is complicated, or what I do is in the physical world. Well, let's take a look at that. So if you're in the trades, like if you're a plumber, actually doing the plumbing work is just a part of what you do. If you have a business, you've got a website, there's marketing, social media, customer service, you're answering phone calls, you're quoting, you're scheduling, accounting, a ton of stuff. And all of that is going to be influenced by AI. So the tradespeople who really understand AI and use it to reduce their costs, to make good projections, to handle a lot of the grunt work that goes into all that kind of thing, again, they're going to have a massive competitive advantage and a lot less overhead themselves that they're going to have to do manually. Well, then people say, well, okay, but AI is not going to be able to do the actual physical work that I do. And that's true until robotics gets to that level. And who knows how long that's going to take. I don't think that's going to be very quick. But let's take a look at a typical plumber and a plumber that perhaps has Meta Ray-Ban glasses on, that has a little camera, little microphone, little speaker. And when this guy starts the job, he says to his AI, hey, chat, let's start this job. Take a look at this tap. I haven't seen it before. What kind of tap is this? And the AI says, oh, that's a European tap. Well, how do I get it off? Oh, there's a set screw underneath, and then it unscrews clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Huh, I may not have figured that out for a while. Okay, great, let's start the job. So I take a picture of the pre-work, and then I take the wall apart, and I find the leaking coupling in the back. And I say, let's start a video. And then in the video, I say, hey, Jill, I just found the problem here. Here's the leaking coupling. I'm going to fix it. We'll put it back together, and you'll be good to go. And I then ask the AI to send that video update to the owner. Then I take a picture of what's behind the wall. I put everything back together, take a finishing picture, and then I can say to the AI, all right, chat, job's complete, invoice the client, send a message to the office letting them know that I'm done this job. I'm going to take in a half hour for lunch, and then I'll be ready for the next job. Oh, and order some more couplings and some plumbing tape. We're out. It's a greatly enhanced workflow that I think is going to be commonplace in a few years. This will just be normal for people. And again, the people who learn AI and understand what it's capable of and start to utilize these different tools and workflows and set up automations and get their agents up and running, they're going to really benefit from this stuff. And the people who don't just are going to get behind, and then it's going to be a mad scramble to try to catch up and keep up with the people who are ahead of them. And so again, that's why I'm doing this video, so that you don't end up behind, but you actually get to take advantage of this and really use it. And that's why Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the second largest company in the world, his company develops the chips that AI is used to train and run on, says this.
If you're not engaging AI actively and aggressively, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. Your company is not going to go out of business because of AI. Your company is going to go out of business because another company used AI. There's no question about that. And so you have to engage AI as quickly as possible.
Okay, so hopefully that's becoming clear now, why AI matters so much and why I say it's going to really influence how all of us work. And it's happening 5 times faster than people think it is. So why it's so important to start to understand it and really utilize it. In the next video, we're going to talk about why it's so difficult to understand AI and really wrap our heads around it and start getting in the game. And I'll lay out a way of understanding it and really starting to get in that game. All right, I'll see you there.